Hi, and thanks for tuning in to our live radio show. Moments of Clarity with Tiffany will begin in just a few moments. Please stay tuned. Kindly take this opportunity to share this show on your platforms, because change can only come when we stand together as one, especially when it comes to ending the stigma on mental health.
You are not alone, and help is out there.
Kids have mental health issues, and we also need to learn coping skills.
Let's get started and let the show begin. See you soon.
Don't put yourself down, time for a change. Believe in yourself, time to rearrange. Be your best friend, bring hope to your day. Lose your critic, get out of your way. Now it clicks, moments of clarity. Now I hear moments of clarity. Now I get it, moments of clarity. To yourself be kind, it will please your mind. Find your joy, trust in you. Put in the time, you'll see how you grow. Many kinds of love you get to define. Find self-love, your soul will align. Now it clicks, moments of clarity. Now I hear moments of clarity. Now I get it, moments of clarity.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. I'm Tiffany Warner. I'm a licensed mental health counselor, and I'm your host. And today I've got a good friend of mine and former co-host of Beyond Clarity with me, and has done several shows on Moments of Clarity with Tiffany, because basically we can talk about anything and just go with it. We're having some connection issues on his side, but we're just going to go on and roll on with the show. Tan Talk Radio just showed up, and kindly in the chat, if you're watching from YouTube, please hit the like button, the subscribe button. There should be a logo that bottom corner. Just click that, hit subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and it should alert you on when we're on. I'm gonna let Ed in because it's time. But I see some good friends here. Hi, Garish from Back to Basics. Hola. It's nice to see you. And Jason from I Am Day Designs, Summit Innovations, and from India and all over. And it's going to be a great show. We're going to be discussing self-care. Is it selfish or essential to be taking care of ourselves? Because a lot of us feel selfish taking time away from work for like the income winner or whatever, taking time away from clients or family or whatever it is. So we're going to be discussing that, and I really would love your input to call in. And Ed, if you kindly unmute, we can hear the ads now because I know it's past our time. Right when I start speaking, he'll unmute. You know that, Kirk.
I think I don't know how you can hear me, but at least for me, I love this topic. And one thing that I personally feel is there's two different kinds of self-care. One of them is where it's it's overly selfish, where you're kind of letting everything else fall by the wayside because it has to be about you. I don't think
In the
that's
Tan Talk
necessarily
Radio
the
Network.
healthy way to go. But
This is the Tan Talk Radio
I
Network.
knew he was going to do that.
Welcome to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Werner, licensed mental health counselor in the state of Florida. Moments of Clarity's mission is to educate and end the stigma on mental health through the inspirational stories of our exceptional guests. You can join in the show by calling Tiffany toll-free at 866-826-1340 or on Facebook and Twitter at MOC with Tiffany. Now, here's Tiffany Werner.
Hello, and welcome to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. My name is Tiffany Werner. I'm a licensed mental health counselor and your host. And today, my guest is a award-winning novelist and nominated author, violinist, and music teacher, and used to He co-hosted Beyond Clarity with me for over a year and a half. And before I formally introduce my guest with me, I want to say hi to Ed.
Hey, happy. Camera's not working today. Okay. Just tried to hit my camera. I don't know what's going on. I've got guys in here working on our EAS unit, so it might have.
Well, the show must go on, so
Yeah.
we
Just
don't
my
get to
camera's
see
not
your
working, that's
beautiful
fine.
face today.
What's that?
Well, if you get it working, you could pop in and say hi. Okay?
Yeah, they're installing some updates on our EAS, and it's very important. So I can't fault them if they had to disconnect something.
Right. So, but when they reconnect it, you can pop in and say hi. It's Kirk
Okay.
and I, and
Hey.
we're talking about self-care, taking time for ourselves. Is it selfish or essential? Because there's a lot of people that don't take time for themselves because they feel like they have other obligations and put themselves last to family and friends and job and other things. And then we pour from an empty cup. And a lot of people think taking time away or taking a break or taking whatever and pulling away from being a mom to get your hair done or to get a massage or whatever it is, to be selfish. And then we burn out. I don't know. There's a lot of different angles we could talk about because it could be selfish depending on
that's
how
perfectly
much self-care
said.
you take. But anyway, so that's our topic. And you're welcome to watch on YouTube. We're on youtube.com/ I'll just look up Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. And we're on live there as well as LinkedIn Live, Twitter Live, and Facebook Live. And then it will be shared on all podcasts. But if you want to join the live show, we're doing this. And pretty soon I'm going to have it embedded into our website because Restream is doing that. So we have one location to go where it streams everywhere, but kind of like the website. So please share this show on all your platforms if you're watching and help spread the word because change can only come when we stand together as one. True. Ed, I hope the camera works. it's always such a pleasure to see Ed pop in from Tan Talk Radio. But when you call in
He's an awesome guy.
866-826-1340, 866-826-1340, say hi to Ed when you do. And anyway, so let's get to the show.
It's
my
a
guest
great
today,
topic.
in case you don't know him already, I'm a licensed mental health counselor, and I juggle not only hosting a radio show, finding sponsors, finding advertisers, booking guests. I do this pretty much all by myself. And then have Safety Harbor Behavioral Health Counseling Center and a private practice, and do all that myself, booking clients and billing and all of that. Plus, and first and foremost, I'm the mother of 2 young strapping boys, and a team coach on a flag football team where when my husband is the coach, I'm the team mom every weekend. And so it's a lot. And publish a book and up for awards for the show. and same with Kirk, my friend here. He is nominated as an author, and he's been, his book From Chaos to Cured has been a memoir and highly award nominated for several years. He used to be on Clarity with me before, and is not afraid to talk about his mental health diagnoses as well, and very educated in the matter. And so I love this. I love winging this with Kirk, because I can say, Kirk, would you like to be on the show Friday? Because like my week was overwhelmed. And I actually said Thursday and Friday, and I had to take a sick day yesterday, so we were not on live. But I would say more like a mental health day. My son was sick, so it got chaotic, and so I had a replay. And then we're back to hit today. But I literally can text Kurt, and then right when I'm sending him the link, he's like, "What's the topic?" I'm like, "Well, I was thinking about one when I was getting ready, and this is what came up. And I had to take the day off yesterday, so it's kind of this like roll with it." So Kirk is one of my favorite guests because we can just roll with anything, and we've been doing this so long. You'll see a show coming out that just Kirk and I will be doing, because I need to add one more thing to my list of things to do after I just. But this is fun.
Yeah, you don't have enough, for sure.
I don't. Well, I mean, I don't have this.
Well,
Just you. That would be worth it. So, I mean, so self care versus.
I love this topic.
You gotta love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, I'm kind of a poster child for somebody who didn't, I mean, self-care wasn't a big thing when I was growing up, and I really didn't know how to take a step back. So I have lots of injuries that I never took time to heal. I kind of always pushed myself to the edge, and I think I'm definitely not the minority. I think the majority of people honestly kind of keep pushing and pushing and pushing until they reach burnout. And as you were talking about at the beginning, is it really self-care? Is that selfish, or is it something that's valuable? And to me, if you know that you're kind of reaching a burnout point, or you have compassion fatigue, or you're just drained, you're not going to be as efficient or effective at whatever you want to do. So your dreams start taking a hit too. So a lot of times, being able to step back, breathe, and only to help other people that you are with, but it also allows you to a better potential to fulfill your dreams and desires. So it's kind of paramount to mental health in general. And I think we're finally getting to the point where some companies offer like mental health days. I think that's really important. You need pay time off. And it's not going to happen all the time, but at least like maybe once or twice a month, most people have just a rough day. And when you have that ability to kind of step back and relax, some people like to, yeah.
Or
I
you're
I
gonna
just
get the
for
if they
me,
don't,
I
you're
think
gonna
it's
get the call
um
like, "I'm sick today." Or why don't you just have the employee be honest? "Hey, I got
yes.
stuff going on at home."
There there was one, person that contacted me one time because we were scheduled to talk, and I was just consulting her for, a couple kids that she had, and she just had questions, and, we had a time scheduled, and she texted me, and she said, "I am so sorry." She said, "This does not happen to me very often. I'm just having a hard day." And she said, "Can we reschedule?" And it was one of the more blunt responses I've ever seen. And of course, I was like, absolutely, we'll figure out a time to reschedule. It's more important for us all to be, in the right place so we can move forward. I liked her candor. So the fact she was so open and honest was really helpful. And I think more people should feel comfortable doing that. Um, Oftentimes, we feel so much pressure to get something done. And when we push, a lot of times what happens is it gets done in a messy way. We have to redo it, and it just adds to our stress. So sometimes taking a short amount of time off allows us to actually be, again, better at whatever we're trying to accomplish. So I don't, I do think sometimes people, make it into something selfish. And that's where you have to get help from a mental health, professional or a doctor, or if you have a life coach, whatever you need, find somebody that can help you figure out what you need. So you do it on the right timing. And again, you reach your goals, which is the most important part of self-care anyway, so that you feel happy and, the people around you are happier too. Not a bad thing. So
Happier wife, happier life, happier mom, happier home, happier kids. I don't have a rhyme for that, but less happier
some
mom
happy
again.
coworkers.
Just go back to
So I mean, having people around you that when you're energized, the people around you are going to feel that. Same thing, if you're drained and you walk into an office building and everybody around you is, you can just feel some days are just like that. And if everybody's taking a little better care of themselves, then, that energy that we all feel, that's unseen, but it's felt, definitely raises up. So again, it's something that helps everyone out, whether it's, especially in a family setting. One person goes down and it kind of seems like the whole ship sinks sometimes. So it's nice if we are kind of all there to help each other out, and also be compassionate and empathetic when people do need that space to breathe and just figure out where they're at. It's not an easy thing to know. And I'm still I have a long learning process of even knowing when I need to take time for self-care. And what are some things you suggest to some of your clients when they're in kind of the same situation I'm in, where I've never really been good at doing it? And like, what are some signs or some things that, you know, should be a
I got a
red
lot of
flag? So
them.
somebody goes, "Oh, I need to rest."
So
What
let's
are
go
some?
to this. Let's
I
take
could
our
use
first
some help.
break.
So
Well, I and time for our first break, and then we'll get into that when we come back, so that we don't get cut off. But that's a great segment to come back into. Like, what are ways? What do we do when we need to self care and we're not? And what are we? What are we missing out on? And how are how are we going to put ourselves first without feeling selfish? And at that, it's time for a commercial break, and we'll be back with Moments of Clarity in just a moment. Please stay tuned.
You're listening to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Warner. We welcome your input at 866-826-1340. Tiffany will be right back after this.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Hello, my name is Lucy Lopes, and I'm a real estate agent that supports ending the stigma on mental health with Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. I am also passionate about helping you buy or sell your home. With times being so difficult, I'm here to help. Contact me at lucylopes.com. That's LUCYLOPES.com. Let me assist you through this pandemic and know that you are not alone.
Hi, this is Tiffany Warner, your host of Moments of Clarity. Living with a mental health disorder is not easy. If you or someone you know are struggling with this, please know it's so important to seek treatment, and I'm here to help. Please visit the website at momentsofclaritywithtiffany.com to view blog posts and resources on this site to help educate and inspire you to take action, because there's no shame in seeking help for mental health. While you're there, please take a few seconds to sign up for my email list. You'll get some extremely valuable educational and entertaining content that can be sent right to your inbox each week. Plus, you'll also get instant and free access to my guide on managing your anxiety. You can also follow me on Twitter at mocwithtiffany and at Facebook at Tiffany Warner. And once again, the website is momentsofclaritywithtiffany.com. Thank you so much for your support and for listening to your show, because change can only come when we stand together as one.
Are you looking for a great book? If you like to root for the underdog, Joe Potosi's book is a book for you. A real American odyssey that will grab your attention with its fast-moving narrative. You won't be able to put this masterpiece down. When the Dust Settled by Joe Potosi. Go to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or Zulin Press.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
We are back to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Warner. To join in the discussion, call 866-826-1340. Now, here's Tiffany Warner.
Hello, and welcome back to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. My name is Tiffany Warner, licensed mental health counselor and your host. And my guest / co-host today, I would say guest, but I'm not quite just interviewing. We're discussing self-care. Is it selfish or essential? And I would like to hear from you guys as well. Call in 866-826-1340. 866-826-1340. And what I would like to hear is, first of all, do you have difficulty putting yourself first because you feel like it's selfish? Do you have difficulty scheduling your own doctor's appointments because you're taking care of everyone else? Or scheduling doctor's appointments because you don't want to miss work? Or doing pampering for yourself because it's selfish away from all the other responsibilities? Maybe like stay-at-home moms need to be mopping, or they feel obligated to take care of everything else because they're not quite employed but busting their butts. Stay-at-home moms have a hard job. I gotta give them credit. And an example of where you feel that you don't feel like you can self-care, or what do you do to self-care? And I want to hear the feedback from the callers and those listening. 866-826-1340. 866-826 1340. I'm gonna get you to jingle and sing it with me one day, Kirk. Anyway, 866-826-1340, or leave comments in the chat and we will get to them. However, before we left on to the commercial break, Kirk was saying, what are some things that we need to do to self-care? And I'm going to be quite honest here. I don't always practice what I preach. So like making those doctor's appointments or dental appointments or whatever, instead of scheduling a client, I'll postpone my appointment. Like the dermatologist, I've postponed a few times because someone needed me and I had to reschedule, things like that. I put my clients before myself a lot, and my family as well. And so we have to make those appointments and commit to it, like that we are going to make those appointments and not feel bad about it, even if it's pampering. To know that.
There we go. Can you hear me? I think I was frozen there for a minute.
You
So
were.
I missed a lot of what you were saying. I heard the beginning part.
You looked like you were falling asleep, and I'm like, I know I'm not boring you. You asked me to talk about this, but I just went with it. It's pretty funny. The connection. Just having fun with Kirk. Sorry. Anyway, so if you feel like you are pouring from, or you're not taking enough self-care, like a massage, or putting yourself first, making appointments and making them happen.
There we go.
Then you will end up pouring from an empty cup and not giving your full capability, your full self to someone else. If you're half tired, then but you're not there cognitively to be the best self you can be. And self-care helps us rejuvenate and take care of ourselves and make time and force yourself to commit to that time. Because a lot of times we'll say, "Oh, I'm going to take a walk or go to the gym or do this or this or this," and then our priorities seem to say, "Well, no, that's more important, so I have to push that off." Or a lunch break. I am I don't always take a lunch break because I just figure I'll just squeeze it in if I get a cancellation kind of deal. So, Kirk, are you unfrozen yet? Right when he comes back. I don't want to keep going full screen. So, Joe Potosi, I agree, self-care is extremely important. One of the ways I self-care is going to the gym. Call in 866-826-1340. 866-826-1340. So, tips to know of what we do.
I can.
Yeah, we know.
I think.
Jason just commented. Kirk, the camera's giving still shots because we were having that delay in the beginning. But before it was kind of funny because he froze and like looked like he was asleep while I was talking. That happens sometimes, like Tiffany's talking. Now, anyway, so tips. And so one of them is going to the gym. And Joe, call in 866-826-1340 since I lost Kirk. So other ways to self-care. And listening to music is one of mine. I love vinyl records. I collect them, and I like to listen to my music at the end of the day. And I gotta say, like, it's been a minute since I've actually done that because I'm trying to figure out where to set it up. Another thing is some people like to take hot baths at the end of the day. Lock the door, make sure that there's no kids even bothering you to cut it off. And that's where the vinyl record doesn't come in play, because if you have a bath, and I'm still trying to find one that flips the record for you or plays both sides, because as soon as I get into the relaxation mode, you hear because the record hit the end of the thing and I have to get out of the tub, unrelax, and flip the record. So working on that. A lot of people like to get pedicures, massage. And if you're local listening to this at massage, at Safety Harbor Behavioral Health and Counseling Center, where I have my private practice in Safety Harbor, I just hired a massage therapist who'll be renting in the front office, who comes highly recommended and centrally located in Safety Harbor. So if you're locally listening to 106.1 FM or 1340 AM, there's a massage therapist that is highly recommended setting up and accepting appointments. So you can message me, or I'll have all the information on the Safety Harbor Behavioral Health Counseling Center website. And we have a caller. We have caller Joe. Let's see if we have Kirk back too. This is fun. It's like a video game puppeteering, a bunch of things going wrong. If you're watching virtually, you'll understand. So, gotta love live radio. Welcome. We have a caller Joe. Welcome to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. How are you doing, Joe?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Tiffany?
Never better.
And hello, Kirk. You alluded to something about how you would postpone appointments or whatever to facilitate meeting with your clients or whatever. Mm-hmm. I can relate to that in a sense. When I was doing a ton of volunteer work, I discovered, you go to minister to these people, but oftentimes they minister to me, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. It makes perfect sense.
And, for an example, I volunteered at a nursing home for 14 years. And it was only supposed to be for 2 to 3 months. Well, the guy was away on a mission trip. And I really was reluctant because my grandmother died in the nursing home. I would go there as a little kid and see her. And I was traumatized by the elderly residents, wanting to talk to me and hug me. And, I'm just a little 6, 7-year-old. I was freaked out by that. So, but I did it for 2 months, and then I felt like God was telling me to continue to do it. And over the process of time, I developed friendships, and it was all wholesome, and it was help impact who I am today. And that was a form of self-care. I think, though, if I could say this, you mentioned before also about how we need to be committed to going to the gym, committed to those doctor's appointments. Sometimes I would get lackadaisical, and blow it off and not go. And then I'd be kicking myself later,
Mm-hmm.
So commitment is also a huge component. And I started to type something, but now that I'm on the phone, I'll just say it. Self-care versus self-medicating.
Wow, that's a good point.
Yeah, I used to self-medicate, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then there was
self-care prevents that because you find something more positive rather than self-destruct, right?
Right, exactly right. That was a moment of clarity for me.
I wasn't expecting that. You want a bell? You earn it.
And no more emotional hangovers,
right?
Hungover from whatever substance, and high on life. And my wife is she's kind of a role model about that. She's very driven, and she follows through with everything she says she's going to do. And she indulges in self-care as well. She gets pedicures or manicures or whatever, and she deserves it. She's a hard worker, and there's nothing wrong getting pampered. Like, she has a coupon for me to get a back massage, but I don't know. I just don't take advantage of it.
See, there's the problem. Is it selfish or essential? And I have that problem too, where we have these abilities to pamper ourselves, but then don't take the time or prioritize it to get it. Right. And I do the same thing, Joe. It's the same where I have opportunities to do this, and for some reason, other things come in the way, and I put myself last. And that's what I'm saying. Like, where it would be something that you would enjoy, but other things come in the way, and we say, okay, well, that's more important than this, and we put ourselves last a lot. If we prioritize and think about, okay, what are the things that are most important to you right now? And people could say family, religion, work, recovery. I've heard people list their list of priorities all the time. And most of the time, the last one is themselves, if they even say themselves. But the first thing on that list should be myself, me. Then this, right. this. Because if you don't put yourself first and take care of yourself, you can't take care of all the other stuff because you'll burn out, you'll fall apart, and it's essential for couples to have date night, for instance, to put themselves first and put the kids at home, and the kids will be like, oh, you're going to leave us alone, whatever. Yeah, leave them alone for a night. Rejuvenate your marriage. It's self-care. It's self-care for the marriage, for your relationship. Going to the mall. There's some people that just like to walk around the mall. Retail therapy, I love it. You don't always have to shop and pay for stuff, but just walking around. Kids want to come? No, because you know what? I'm not going to be able to go into the bra section with 2 boys. So without them going, go get out of here, get out of here. I need to be able to get lost in the mall and do what I want to do. That kind of stuff. But
that's all really good points, Tiffany. Thank you for the show today.
Thanks for being here. So don't push off the gym, and I'm going to encourage you to please schedule that back massage before it expires and make it happen. Because if you're going to the gym, you need the massage. It kind of goes hand in hand. And
Right.
knowing you, the gym helps you unleash emotional stress and anger. So
Yeah.
it goes hand in hand. And after a big workout, deep tissue, I don't know. I don't know much about the massage, but which one would be the best? But a massage would go great with sore muscles, right?
Right. Well, thank you for the show today. Thank you for this topic, and you have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you
Kirk?
for calling in, as always.
Yep.
It helps me
Yes.
unfreeze Kirk because every time he gets frozen, it looks like he's asleep. But we know he's there. It's one of those shows, huh? So
Yeah.
thanks for calling in, Joe. We are taking callers. This is going to be fun. How can we wing it without anything technologically going the right way? Ed's camera didn't turn on in the beginning. I can't see Kirk. Just gotta roll with it. Lucky for me, it's time for our second break. There's always some way to weasel out of something like this, but I do hope you guys, everyone out there, is listening. And self-care is very crucial. And along with what goes with self-care, I gotta say, is the ability to tell people no and setting boundaries, like within ourselves as well as with others. So if we can't commit and overcommit or whatever, I had to tell a very good friend recently that wanted me to do something that she was passionate about for me to judge something. Love her to death. I want to be there for her, but it's one more thing that I don't want to let her down or say yes to one more thing. So it's okay to say no. Good friends and good colleagues will understand if we can't be there for every single thing. Jason from IMJ Designs from YouTube says, I'm going to self-care this Sunday. I've been working nonstop for months. My good friend Melissa said, take a break on Sunday because it's her birthday. Happy birthday, Melissa, Sunday. And I think that what you said, though, Jason, on that post is self-care because you've been working nonstop for months. And I'm a victim. I mean, I'm guilty of doing that at times too. And then we end up burning ourselves out, pouring from an empty cup. And then what we're passionate about turns into a chore, an obligation, or whatever. And it's more pressure than what we wanted in the first place. And it turns into an obligation or responsibility, which used to be fun. And it's because we put too much pressure on one thing and overbooking ourselves and not taking care of our time. So a lot of people think taking time to themselves is selfish, but it's essential. If you agree or disagree, call in 866-826-1340, 866-826-1340. Back to basics. This is Girish Bali. Says, I take breaks every 15 minutes, which clears my mind and my craziness. If it only takes 15 minutes to clear your mind and craziness, please call in. And I would love to know how. 866-826-1340. Let's see. I need an hour or something. If you don't take Summit Innovations off Facebook, if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anyone else. Yep. And that's so true. Jason from India also said, I think this episode made me realize I need one. You need a break, huh? Makes Kirk and Tiffany. And so true. Speaking of breaks, it's time for our second break. And we will be back with Moments of Clarity with Tiffany in just a moment. Stay tuned.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
If you are like most people, you worry with the financial challenges you face today. How do you protect your family from financial ruin? How will you reduce your liabilities and get out of debt sooner? And how can you deal effectively with the constant changes in your job, your career, and your business? Overcoming your financial challenges is like building a house. You must build from the ground up. You must learn how to make more money, save more money, grow your money, and protect your money. Forever Forward Financial specializes in teaching you these 4 basic money skills so you can achieve your dreams and end your worry. Call us today and schedule your complimentary, no obligation meeting to discuss your needs and concerns. Call Scott Bigley at 727-422-7761.
Are you having trouble staying sober after you've completed rehab and need a positive environment to help you continue sobriety? At Real Recovery Sober Living, we strive in both community and environment for men in early sobriety to help support you while in early recovery. For only $750 a month, we cover everything you need when it comes to a safe, clean, and accountable environment necessary for success in sobriety. Check out our website at realrecoveryfl.com. That's realrecoveryfl.com. We have 6 locations in Tampa, St. Petersburg, Clearwater, Brandon, North Tampa, and Bradenton, because everyone deserves a quality, sober living.
Hi, this is your host, Tiffany Warner from Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. I want to thank you for all your support on ending the stigma on mental health for over the past 7 years and with over 600 episodes, as well as several award nominations and placing as a finalist in 3 categories on the People's Choice Podcast Award last year. If you're listening to this on audio, please visit and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Moments of Clarity with Tiffany and enjoy viewing previous shows in case you missed any live. If you're interested in advertising and would like to promote your company, it is affordable and an effective way to get your company the attention it deserves. I also welcome potential guests as well, and all information can be found on my website at mocwithtiffany.com. Thank you again for your continued support, as change can only come when we stand together as one. Hi, this is Tiffany Warner, your host of Moment of Clarity. I'd like to give a shout out to musician-songwriter Don Lawson, who wrote, produced, and performed all the vocals and instruments on my Moments of Clarity theme song. Don gained his inspiration as a mental health counselor himself. He's always looking for artists to record his songs, and you can hear more of Don's music at reverbnation.com/Don Lawson. You can also check him out on Twitter at Don Lawson Music. Thank you so much, Don, for your contribution to Moments of Clarity and ending the stigma on mental health. It's awesome.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Now back to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Warner, licensed mental health counselor. To engage in the conversation, call 866-826-1340. Here's Tiffany.
Hi, and welcome back to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. I'm Tiffany Warner, licensed mental health counselor and your host. Let's see if we can get Kirk to work today. It rhymed. Kirk Patrick Miller is my guest, and we're having technical difficulties, but that's all good. It happens. Welcome to call in 866-826-1340, 866-826-1340, and always say hi to Ed when you do. This has been fun and essential. Kirk, are you with us? Okay, so in the back chat, I'm going to tell you what Kirk's been saying. Kirk said, too much pressure makes us break. I'm hearing bids, but burnout breaks us from the feeling of being successful. That leads us to feel less happy, and the snowball continues. Well said. Getting bits of words, but I'm here. No, that's the technical thing. The longer we let ourselves break down, the harder it is to repair the damage done, and it makes recovery harder and a longer process. Well said, Kirk.
Can you hear? I don't know how it's working.
Yeah, you're here. I asked.
Did it actually come in? There we go. So
I bring in Girish Bali from Back to Basics, who's been wanting to call in, and we'll bring him on because I thought I lost you and everyone, and I didn't want to be on full screen everywhere. Girish Bali, host of Back
good
to
to have
Basics.
you.
Okay.
How's it going?
And now we can't hear you.
Okay. You can't hear me?
For a second. It's like, da-da-da, here he comes to save the day. And then his mouth goes, can you hear me? And I was like, oh, God.
No, we're good. I think we can hear you now.
Okay.
You say you take 15-minute breaks every day.
Yeah.
Let's see. What are you
This is a
talking about
test
with
of our
self-care?
ADHD today, so you're doing well.
I gotta say, this was amazingly. I don't know how it didn't like completely crash and burn, but this was. I mean, there's been tests lately with how to just go with it on a whim. My friend Jason would fall apart by now, I think, on his podcast. But anyway, on his wonderful podcast, Brand Identity Design on Clubhouse every Wednesday, 12 to 1. But Garish, you said that you take breaks. I'm going to put you out there right here. You said, I take breaks every 15 minutes, which clears my mind and my craziness. So tell us about that.
I don't know. I just take breaks every time. So as soon as I'm going to be hanging out with you, I'll take another 15 minutes break. So, the thought process is that I need some time away from the PC or even just away from the phone, right? And if I don't do that, I will be a couch potato. I will go crazy. My eyes will tear and just tired. It's just not fair for the body. It's just not fair for the mind either.
Right.
I know it sounds really crazy, but it's really damn true that every 15 minutes, it's so needed for the body. Think of it a process of people, they go out for a smoke because they need to. So think of that same process that maybe the body also needs some, break time too. So take that analogy, even though that I don't smoke, but it's just an analogy that if you just go out and just spend time with your own body, I think it'll go wonders.
That's a great analogy. And I tell a lot of people that do panic attacks or have anxiety, like the one thing that someone does, and no judgment against anyone that smokes, that's not what this is about, but they go outside, like, I need a smoke break, work is too toxic, whatever. The one thing that they're doing right is they're walking out outside away from the toxic environment that's stressing them out.
Yeah.
And you're getting away from that.
Yeah.
But then you're instead of breathing techniques or putting yourself away and doing breathing, you're sucking in carbon monoxide. It raises your blood pressure, and you're still walking in with the high stress, the high anxiety back into a toxic environment. If you did the breathing techniques, like breathe in your nose, hold for 2, and breathe out your mouth, and then breathe right back in through your nose, hold for 2, and breathe out your mouth. If you do it 10 times, your mind clears and the oxygen goes through your head, straight to your brain, and because it's breathing through your nose, and it lowers your blood pressure, lowers your anxiety, and then you go into the stressful situation more calm, less upset, and without the people around the ashtray too, like complaining about their work, that kind of thing. So those things do work. If people get a good feeling about needing a smoke break or pulling themselves out or whatever, to each their own, but that's their break, is to get outside. But then you have the possibility of running into other pissed off workers that are going to raise your blood pressure and put you in a bad state of morale as well,
Yeah. So, I mean, Jason was asking me this question that, I release my episodes every day, and how come I've just not gone crazy? Is because
honestly.
Go ahead, Kirk.
Let's let Kirk talk while he can. Go ahead, Kirk.
Oh, I was just gonna say I really liked what Gary said, where he's scheduling time for self-care. For someone like me, and I think there's a lot of people out there that don't know when they're falling apart. It's hard for me to know. So by the time I realize it, like everything's already built up, and it's hard to get back to the calm I was trying to reach to begin with. So like that was a phenomenal tip for anybody out there that's like trying to figure out like, how do I do self-care? That's a phenomenal tip. Just schedule it throughout the day. I mean, we'd schedule our lunch, our dinner, stuff like that. There's no reason why you can't schedule self-care throughout the day. And, people do that for stretching or other things. That's a phenomenal tip, useful for me as I kind of go on this journey. For panic attacks, the breathing is definitely intensely valuable. I did that a little bit as our connection was off. So it's been an interesting test of our ADHD. Tiffany, you did a beautiful job. And Garish, thank you so much for calling in too. What made you think of like doing it every 15 minutes? Was that something
So
that
that's
was
what Jason,
imparted to you in terms of a
Jason from India
suggestion, or is that something you came up with?
Jason from India said, "Is the 15-minute break idea from corporate work setting?"
For corporate work setting, I think that might be impossible. But what you can do is in a corporate world, you're sitting on your desk pretty much all day long, and you're on a conference call all day long. So why not take a break by standing when you're taking a call, or even just typing an email or something like that by standing, right? And just walk around in your room or just in that cubicle area, just go in circles. So that's my break too sometimes, and I've done this numerous times in my corporate world, and now in my entrepreneur world, I just take breaks as when I need.
Mm-hmm. What you need to.
Yeah.
We're running close on time. We've got, I don't know, 7 or 8 minutes left, but that really means 5 or 6. I appreciate you guys working with me, and
You did an awesome job, Tiffany. You should give yourself a bell. That's not easy to deal with. I know you had like all sorts of things happening all at once, trying to get everybody messaged, and so congratulations. That was well
Thank
done.
you.
And honestly, you did better probably today because you took a self-care day yesterday. So I mean, that's exactly what we were talking about at the beginning of the show. When you're able to like utilize self-care, the sky's the limit. It helps us unlock our potential. And I think that's really what we're all trying to do on a daily basis anyway. And it's an important topic. It's something that, a lot of times it's kind of misunderstood. People think of it as, again, there's kind of two different things to it. There's a selfishness where, you push everybody away and I'm going to spend money on just me. I'm only taking care of myself. That's not what self-care is. Self-care is understanding, you need to take a walk or a 15-minute break, get outside of an environment that's affecting you. So there's so much about self-care that I think is somewhat misunderstood and sometimes misused. Just like, when people talk about positivity or toxic positivity, there's a difference between the two. So, at least for me, self-care is something that I wish I would have been taught about much earlier, because I think it would have really helped, not just for success in life, but to avoid some of the really disturbing and trials and tribulations I went through. So it's a great technique, and it's something you should definitely speak to. If you have a therapist, mental health counselor, a doctor, friend, talk to some people about it. It's something that's very useful, and I think that it's just one more tool that we can add to make us individual or get us closer to the person we want to be honest. But that was really well done. So I was impressed.
Multitasking and
Garish,
not
for
freaking
jumping
out
in.
or not panicking. And I also have a strong support system that when I say, "Can you call in? I lost my guest," and voila, like a genie in the bottle. Here's Garish. Like, so I really think so. And you can follow Garish on Back to
He
Basics.
needs a bell too. So you both get one.
Everyone needs bells. I think everyone. Yeah. So, follow. Did I spell this right, Garish?
Yeah, you spelled it correct this time. Yes. But Tiffany, you have given me the payment to be here on the show with a whole bunch of love and support that you've given me. Why wouldn't I be here? I think I'm always be here for you, no matter what. So thank you.
And you're like one of the nicest ones when we're on clubhouse rooms and things like that, and you take a roast from some other people on there, and it kind of gets me mad sometimes. I'm not gonna lie, that they pick on you like that, and so then if you haven't noticed, I lash back on your behalf. That's another show.
Not at
Standing
all.
up for your friends in a proper way and being passive aggressive to the people that are bullies, thinking they're funny.
I can
strong boundaries.
I can mention two names, but that's Larry and Mo.
Yeah, Larry and Mo, the Three Stooges. But
Yeah.
you're the one that can do this between the eyes when they're trying to poke at you and block it. At least and you handle it very maturely and everything. But I don't sometimes think it's like almost getting the attention off of them and or one person specifically and putting it on you to feel better about themselves. And I could do that. And anyway, we got to wrap up, you guys. That's a whole nother show. But don't put your
We have a
friends
few
down to
more.
make yourself look better. I hate that. Making fun of your friends because you want to look better. I find that immature and it gets under
Never
my
works.
skin when I watch somebody so kind as Garish put up with it. Anyway,
If you defend me, I think I'm okay, Tiffany.
I can't help it. I don't think you need it. It's just in my nature. Right, Kirk? It's like I can't shut up. I don't have a filter when.
Oh, absolutely. Mama Bear comes out. So, yeah.
I don't think it's because you need it.
That's a good thing.
I can't help but try to like put someone that sounds arrogant. Shut them up. Just anyway, it's time to wrap up our show. And thank you
Yeah,
all.
you have zero tolerance for any bullying or any
all of that.
cruelty, which is actually one reason why you're a phenomenal therapist and counselor. People need that.
Yeah, but then it comes back to slap me. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful weekend. Thanks for tuning in. Be kind to yourself and a stranger. You never know what they're going through. Take time to self-care. And I hope if you learned anything like this from the show, that things don't always go perfect. And it's okay to mess up. And it's okay to keep going and have a sense of humor about stuff because mistakes are learning opportunities. And we can't beat ourselves up for something not going perfect. But we just roll with it. Show must go on.
And very quickly, it is Mother's Day weekend, so enjoy everyone for happy.
Oh, yeah, right. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there.
Yeah, please enjoy all the Mother's Day, and I definitely celebrating Mother's Day for Back to Basics because the four ladies were celebrating. So enjoy as much.
Sunday?
What's that?
You're not going to be on Sunday. You're celebrating Mother's Day, right?
Well, I will be releasing an episode that I interviewed with four ladies, so it'll be released this Sunday.
Oh, but you're not recording. You're releasing something.
Oh, I will not be recording. I don't do. That's my break time. Remember.
Ah, good. Anyway, family first. Everyone, happy Mother's Day. Ed, thank you so much. Thanks for the team. Thanks for pulling through, everyone. And great show. We'll be back every Thursday and Friday from 12 to 1. And be kind to yourself and a stranger. You never know what they're going through. Stick together because change can only come when we stand together as one. Thanks again, Garish. Back to basics. Kirk Patrick Miller. You guys are awesome.
Now it clicks, moments of clarity. Now I hear moments of clarity. Don't put yourself down, time for a change. Believe in yourself, time to rearrange. Be your best friend, bring hope to your day. Lose your critic, get out of your way. Now it clicks, moments of clarity. Now I hear moments of clarity. Now I get it, moments of clarity. To yourself be kind, it will please your mind. Find your joy, trust in you. Put in the time, you'll see how you grow. Many kinds of love you get to define. Find self-love, you're so alive. Now it clicks, moments of clarity. Now I hear moments of clarity.